All right, we're going to talk about how to measure for stairs. It's the most common question that we get, and hopefully we can make it a bit easier for you. This is a closed stringer staircase, meaning there's a wall on both sides of the stair tread and riser. If this was an open stringer staircase, one side would be exposed, or even both sides can be exposed. And the measuring differs depending on the staircase, and I'll talk about that in a second. But for a closed stringer staircase, and this is with shell, and knowing the flooring is really important, obviously, because the shell nosings that we make from the flooring planks are 84 inches long, and this staircase is 37 inches wide. So we can take an 84-inch nosing and cut it in half, and use half the nosing here and half the nosing here. So the yield is really positive, saves you a lot of money in terms of not having to buy a bunch of stair parts and have a lot of waste. We would do the same calculation for figuring out flooring, because each step and riser is made of a nosing. So this is the stair tread, what you step on. This is a nosing, this is flooring planks, this is the riser, this is flooring plank, this is the nosing here. So we need to build the staircase, nosings and flooring, and we have to calculate how much flooring we need. So I like to do just a basic square footage calculation, and you can just measure the riser height and then the riser width, and same thing with the stair tread. You can measure the stair tread depth and stair tread width and come up with your calculations for square footage and just order based on that. It's a really easy way to do it. Or you can do it by board count. So this is shell, and what we know here is that shell is a pretty wide plank. It's going to be more than wide enough to actually fit on the riser. And so from our perspective, we're going to have to just cut this down. So I know that since shell is an 8-foot long plank, we can cut it in half and use a piece for the tread and a piece for the, a piece for the riser and a piece for the tread. And we're going to have to modify each and cut it off, which is what we've done here. So you can see how it actually works. So this is a nosing, and then this is that piece of flooring that goes on the riser. So it's why it's really critical to calculate square footages and yields for the steps and to get it right. If you're using a product like Little Square or Moonlight that isn't that wide, you may have a full board and then another thin piece that you're going to have to use on the riser, and the same thing for the tread. It just all depends on your depths and heights. If this was an open stringer staircase, what you have to remember is that you're likely going to need more nosing, because the nosing on an open stringer is going to come across, and then you're also going to need nosing to cover this edge. So if this is 37 inches wide here, and say you have another 10 to 12 inches here, that's how much nosing you're going to have to order. So just keep that in mind. It's nosing, nosing again, add those up, and that's what you're going to want to come out to. What you don't want to do is just add up all of the inches from a nosing perspective and just order that amount, because you don't want to end up with a cut right in the middle of a tread. Each stair tread should be a full nosing across, and then if this was an open stringer, you'd have a miter here and then going back, but you don't want a nosing to get here in the middle.